Before we get started, I'd really like to hear from all of you. You can comment on what things you'd like to discuss in future videos, topics you'd like to cover, and if you'd like to be notified of videos that'll be coming up in the future, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell that's right somewhere around there. Be right back. The older I get, the more I realize life is short. You have to live life every day to the fullest. Travel with us, photographing what we see and living the van life lifestyle. Join us now on our next adventure, our next Vantastic journey. So it's been a little while since I've touched base with you all. I apologize for that. Some things like family, life, work have all sort of gotten in the way. This coronavirus thing sort of seems to have the whole planet all upside down right now also. I've had to cancel some of my photography workshops and trips I had planned to come back home to home base and sort of get my business affairs back in order, make a little money, put a little money back in the bank, pay some bills. I'm sure my wife is ready to get me back on the road again and out of her hair. I certainly am due. I am very due. I am overdue. We've been using my van at work to haul cargo, and as you can see, I've got the whole thing all emptied out, and I've got to set the whole thing back up again and put the bunks in and get all my gear all stowed away, and that's going to take a little time. You know, it's funny, every time I regroup and I get back out and I hit the road, it always takes me usually just a couple days just to wind down, to get back in the zone, reacclimate to living on the road. But once you get in that place, there's really nothing like it. You find your blood pressure starts to come down, your pace slows down, and there's just nothing like it in the world. The freedom of being able to go where you want, when you want, and not have any kind of a time constraint is just an amazing thing. There really isn't anything else really to compare with van life. When you have a van, you're able to stop and go and spend as much time as you want, unlike taking a trip in a plane and having to land in a destination you're unfamiliar with and have to book hotels and follow an agenda. In a van, you can make the trip as long as you want or as short as you want. You can pull over to the side of the road and sleep in a rest area, or if you want to camp, you can camp, or if you want to find a beach and sleep on the beach, you can do that. There really isn't anything like it, and unless you've experienced it, I really recommend that everybody try it at least once in their life. They have the opportunity to spend some time in a camper or a van. I myself, I like a van. I'm preferable to a van because in my case it's very stealth. It's almost camouflage. All my gear is modular, which means I can slide it in and slide it out. I mean, it's not a 5-minute thing, but you know, when I break my van down, I make sure I put all my stuff in one area so that I don't have to go searching for it, and I can have the bunk in and have it all set up and ready to travel, usually within maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours at best. People ask me all the time, they say, why don't you just buy an RV? Well, I don't want an RV. I can use this van for other things. I can use it for work when I'm not traveling. I can use it to do my photography. I can put seats in it, and I can carry passengers and charge money to do that. Make some money doing that. And then when I want to travel, I can take all that out. I can put my bunks and my gear in. In the 3 or 4 years really that I've been van living the van lifestyle, I've been able to travel all over the country. I've been on this planet about 54 years, and I can say honestly that in the last 5 years I've traveled more than I've ever traveled in my entire life. And if I didn't have a van, I really wouldn't be able to do that. The cost of airline tickets and the cost of traveling without a van it's very expensive. I'm able to stay out on the road for maybe $50, $60 a day. If I'm traveling a long distance, my fuel cost is a little bit more, of course, but you know, I very rarely ever spend more than $100 on the road a day. But I average probably 50 or 60, and that has a lot to do with my meals. If I eat, if I prepare my meals myself, you can keep that cost way down. Usually, rule of thumb is you know, I enjoy having a dinner out, and I usually spend $20 or $25 a day on having myself a sit-down dinner. We're not looking at a high-end restaurant. You know, we'll find a Cracker Barrel, and sometimes I'll sleep there for the night. They make a great breakfast too. So usually I'll have one bought meal a day in a restaurant, and then the other 2 meals, I pack a cooler. I make sandwiches. I keep my costs down with that. You know, so just to clarify on some of the comments that people write to me, and they say, well, you know, you're not a purist. You're not living in a van full time. Well, no, I'm not. I'm fortunate to still be able to afford to not only travel and live in a van, but also have a home base and have a business that will work and run at least to some degree without me being present. I do make some money on the road. I like I said, you may know, I do photography workshops when I can, and I also do. I also work with estate stuff, and I sell stuff on eBay and our own auction platform, and I'm a real estate broker. I have a real estate broker's license, and I have some agents that help me, and with the internet, I'm very fortunate. I'm able to, with an internet connection and a cell phone, I am able to work and do the vast majority of things from the road. And a lot of my clients don't know that I'm even traveling. You know, I mean, there's no need, especially if I have agents that are working at home in the field. I give them a call and just say, hey, would you mind showing a property? Hey, would you mind running and taking care of this or taking care of that? And they do that. And the rest of it, 90% of the real estate business is done, we can do from home. And I think even, you know, with this whole coronavirus, I keep bringing that up, but, you know, it's really shown a lot of people that brick and mortar places of work are just not necessarily what every person is going to need. There are a lot of jobs out there that you can work remotely, so this is a good opportunity right now in these times for people to be able to seek those jobs out and find ways that they can work from the road, from their van or their schoolie or their camper or whatever that is. It truly is a good time. While I've got your attention, just going to take a few minutes. We'll throw the stuff back in the van. I'll show you how I set it up real quick, and then we'll be underway. So here we have it, the bones of my bunk. It's 1 inch by 1 inch square tubing. You slide it in and out. It's really easy. It's strong. It's lightweight. Once the rack's in, I throw some pine boards on top. Makes it really easy to take apart and put together. Make a deck. If I'm traveling alone, I use a twin-size mattress or a cot mattress. When I'm traveling with my wife, we typically use a full-size futon mattress. Cooler, a folding table, a chair, some other personal gear. Foil insulation over the windows helps as a privacy barrier, and also helps keep the temperature about where I need it. Well, that's about it. That's the basics. So we're all loaded up, getting ready to head back out on the road, meet some great people, explore and photograph some great places. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. We'll talk to you real soon.